शम्भो महादेव देव शिव शम्भो महादेव देवेश शम्भो शम्भो महादेव.
Hi friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So we will discuss a new concept today, which is the Ring of Solomon. This is one of the most searched topic on Palmistry. So before we'll start our discussion on this, as you people know that we have already reached the last part of our syllabus on Palmistry. So I'm just ensuring that you are not forgetting what all I have taught you so far. So a quick recap of the introductory part of the palmistry. So the palmistry can be divided into two verticals. One is the chirognomy, which tells about the study of the structure of the hand. Just by looking at the structure of the hand, the shape of the fingers, the shape of the palm, you'll get to know the inherent personality traits of an individual, the basic instincts, fear, desire, hunger, appetite, lust, love, and so many things you'll just get to know just by looking at the structure of the hand. Then comes the another part, which is known as the chiromancy, which is the study and the scrutinization of the lines marked on our hands, which is basically used for the fortune telling part, the past, present and future. Now the Hindu way of doing analysis is what has been written in the most sacred scriptures devoted to the divine knowledge of palmistry, the Samudik Shastra. That first is you should look at the hand, the darshanam, like the way I even explained the chirognomy. Second is sparshanam. You touch the hand and you'll get to know about the color, the resistance, the temperature of the skin of the hand. And the last is rekha vimarshanam, the scrutinization of the lines. Now coming to this part in hand, as we have reached the last segment of our discussion on the lines. So how the lines marked on our palms can be classified. There can be three classification for the lines. First is the lines can be categorized in a primary lines category. So the primary lines are these three major lines. This is your heart line, which tells about your innermost feelings. Then this is your head line, which tells about your intellectual capabilities. And this is your lifeline, which answers all the questions related to your vitality, health, stamina. Now there are the secondary lines, which are, this is the line of Saturn, which answers all your questions related to your job, your finances, your wealth, your stability in life, that we get to know from the fate line. And next is, this is our sun line. Sun line answers about the the brilliant aspect of your personality, your ability to attract goodness in your life in the form of angels, in the form of nearer and dearer ones, all those people who could help in the progress of your life, the wise counsels, and the artistic and creative abilities are also seen from here. It metaphorically tells about the right time when the sunshine is going to enter into your life. And next is our line of Mercury, which answers all your questions and concerns regarding your business and health. So we have also discussed the secondary lines. Now comes the part of the minor lines, which are very rarely found in people's hand, and if they are found, they just add depth to someone's personality. That is the only reason, being a hand analyst, you need to give proper emphasis on these minor lines, because they modify the traits of someone's personality. Now as I have already told you, these are very rare signs. We have already discussed the line of Mars, which is generally found over here, which adds as a support to the vitality and as a sister line to the lifeline. We have already discussed the via lascivia, which just makes someone on the verge of falling prey to drugs, alcohol and all kind of addictions. And we have also discussed in the last part the line of intuition, which connects the mount of moon with the mount of Mercury and is responsible for the extrasensory perception. Now comes the part which is very important, which is the Ring of Solomon. So to begin with, first of all, we are going to discuss the formation of this Ring of Solomon on the palm. This Ring of Solomon is found over here, as the name suggests, in a ring formation encircling the mount of Jupiter. So this is my index finger, this is my mount of Jupiter. You'll find it something like this. Something like this. So this is the Ring of Solomon, and this is one aspect of this formation, and you might also find it in another aspect somewhere, this Ring of Solomon going in a straight kind of line formation. So I'll just give a proper description of this line. So this is where Ring of Solomon can be spotted on the palm. This is always found on the mount of the Jupiter, encircling the mount of the Jupiter. Now comes the part of the signification of this line. This Ring of Solomon tells about the wisdom and potential to progress in spirituality as well as in the psychology. Now there are two verticals which I have explained. So it tells about wisdom and potential to progress in spirituality and as well as in psychology. So let's take it one by one. What do I mean by psychology? So these people in whose hand this line is found, they take very much interest in probing the human nature, getting into any kind of psychological aspect, whether it is in the form of becoming a psychiatrist, becoming a psychologist, or whether becoming a psychic, astrologer, good palmist. So these people have the interest as well as the potential to progress in any of the spiritual, any of the psychological, where they have to probe other person's human nature. So they do very good in that, and they even personally take interest in all those subjects. So first is the psychological aspect. Second is the spiritual aspect. These people, just because this line is found on the mount of the Jupiter, so this is one of the good signs and one of the very positive and desirable signs to have on your palm, on your mount of Jupiter. This just tells about that the person would remain to be very righteous, person would remain to be very spiritual, person will do good deeds, and he'll engage in all the humanitarian aspect. I have seen this line in the hands of Ring of Solomon, in the hands of judges, lawyers, and all the people who are respected in the society, as well as they're in the good designation, in the high position in the society. So this is about the Ring of the Solomon, signification of the Ring of Solomon. Now, as I have told you people that there can be two formation of this line, so let's discuss that as well. So when you find this kind of formation in a Ring of Solomon to be in a ring kind of formation, this just tells about the intuitive aspect of the Ring of Solomon. So like the way I have told you people that this line, people, the possessor of these lines take interest in the psychology of the others. So with this kind of formation, this probing and their helpful nature and their wisdom would have a little bit of intuitive touch to it. And let's say, for example, when you find it to be in a straight kind of formation, something like this, then this will have a logical aspect to it. So the probing into other person's life or probing into human nature would remain to be part of that person's personality, but that would have a logical touch to it. So this is with the formation and signification of the Ring of Solomon. And now comes the part, just because what is going to happen is that the presence of these special signs on the mount of Jupiter is going to enhance the Jupiterian traits in someone's personality. So it's also important for you people to check and judge what all are the parameters on which a mount gets judged, and specifically as we are talking about the mount of Jupiter, so what would remain to be the traits on which mount of Jupiter gets judged. So I have already made a video separately in all the mounts. Let me just give you a quick recap of the judgment of the mount of Jupiter. So mount of Jupiter gets judged on the parameters, which are, first you need to check whether this portion is risen, this portion is spread out or not, whether this portion is full or not. Like the way we always say in astrology, that the Jupiter has the potential to expand. If that is the only reason for the wealth aspect as well, Jupiter has been given very strong significance. Jupiter has the capability and potential to expand, whereas Rahu has the potential to explode. Sun has the potential to brighten. So same way the Jupiter, like the way it has got its inherent nature of expanding things, same way you can even spot it on the hand as well. Like the way we say Saturn is a very reclusive planet, same way the mount of Saturn would also remain to be very flat compared to other mounts. So let me just stick to the topic only. So mount of Jupiter would remain to be risen. That's the one way to look at it. The color would remain to be bright, and as we are discussing the mount of Jupiter, so we also have to give equal significance to the finger as well. So if the finger would remain to be longer, let's say for example, and whenever it comes to checking the length of the index finger, we always check it in comparison with the ring finger. So we'll also find the index finger to be longer, and along with that the index finger to be high set on the palm. So what do I mean by high set? I mean that, as you can see, this is the portion of the finger, this is the line on which the fingers are touching the palm. So let's say for example, whenever the finger would remain to be high set, something like this, when you will find, so what would happen is that this would automatically give larger portion, larger terrain and plot to the mount of Jupiter. So a high set fingers on the palm is considered as positive, and along with that, when it comes to the judgment of the mount of Jupiter, you also have to give equal importance to the axial trirady. So this is something which I mean to say. So what is this? So if you look at the skin carefully, so you'll find this kind of pattern getting formed on the skin. So this kind of triangle formation getting formed over here. So this triangle is known as the axial rarity. You know, this is very easy to spot on a rough texture of the skin. When the skin texture is soft, then you might even have to use a magnifying glass, or you know, press the portion with your other finger. Then this would be very easily accentuated and easily get distinguished on the, you know, palm. So if this axial rarity, this kind of portion, so you know, something like this. So this triangle kind of formation, the more high set it would be on the mount, the better it would be, and the better would remain to be the position and signification of Jupiter in someone's life. So a quick recap, when it comes to the judgment of the mount of Jupiter, first thing is that this mount should be risen, swollen. Second is the color should be pink. Third is the finger should be long and high set, and last is the axial rarity should be this axial rarity should be high set on the mount. This would indicate that the person has got all the Jupiterian qualities, and we could even say that the person is Jupiterian. And along with that, if there would be a formation of the ring of Solomon, so this would just increase all the aspect of Jupiter in someone's personality in the form of righteousness, goodness, good progeny, you know, getting ability to, you know, make good money, acquiring good wealth. So all that remain in an accurate quantity in someone's personality and in someone's life. Next is about the presence of special signs. So what has been seen is that many a times you'll also find some kind of, so this is the ring of Solomon, you'll also find some kind of sign, special symbols and signs attached to it. So what is going to happen is that, let's say for example, you have spotted this kind of star combination. So it is in the mount of Jupiter, and it is little bit star is touched the ring of Solomon. So what is going to happen is that ring of Solomon was already indicating wisdom. So what is going to happen is that the wisdom would also have a touch of brilliance in someone's personality. So the person will not only be wise, he will be best with his wisdom within his chosen field, in his chosen subject and his chosen occupation. So a star would add the brilliance aspect to someone's personality. Let's say for example, you have spotted a square, which is very commonly found touch to the ring of Solomon. So this would also tell that the person would, his wisdom, his, you know, kind of righteousness and spirituality will remain protected. He will not get tempted by any distraction of the life, nor would anyone else would be able to cast an aspersion on this person's character or this person's wisdom. He would be protected. This is what the square sign tells. And last is the triangle sign, which is also very good sign. Triangle tells about the mental intelligence, and triangle is also looked at based on our Hasamudik Shastra, that this triangle sign is also looked at, you know, from the political acumen. So these people would remain to be not only wise, intelligent, but they would also have a potential to, you know, do good into any of the political sphere. This is with the presence of the special signs. Now comes the part of the quality of the ring of Solomon. So, you know, it's very simple. If you'll find this to be in a, you know, kind of faint kind of formation, so this is just going to indicate that the potential is there in the person, but it is not fully developed. So this is all what we can look at it. If it is very faint kind of formation, because the deep and clear is considered as the best kind of formation for any line to have. Same would be applied on the ring of Solomon as well. If it would remain to be faint, then we can look at it from that perspective, that the wisdom is not completely developed in the person's personality. Next is you know, the special cases. So what do I mean by the special cases? I mean that many times you will find the heart line to be touching the ring of Solomon. This is considered as the best sign. So what is going to happen is that because the heart line is touching and ending on the beginning from the ring of Solomon, touching it here. So what is going to happen is that the person's you know, emotions and feelings would be more altruism and more humanitarian governed. Because what has happened is that, like the way when we were discussing the heartline series, that whenever the heart line reaches deep on the mount of the Jupiter, there remains to be a fear of person becoming too egoistic or too idealistic. So here that possibility would get diminished. The person would be more, you know, humanitarian causes driven. The person would be more down to earth and more concerned and compassionate towards the need of the others. So this is considered as a very positive sign. And next is, for example, let's say you have spotted the heart line sending a fork and on the ring of Solomon. So something like this. So as we can see, the heart line has a fork kind of combination, and it is making a sort of triangle over here on the ring of Solomon. So something like this. It is making a triangle here, as you can see. So this is considered as a very positive sign. You know, what has been written in the spiritual text is that if this person take refuge in any of the occultic subject, or if this person takes interest in astrology, telepathy, reiki, tarot reading, so that might be a case that person would progress so intensively that he might even able to talk to the spirits. So this is considered as a very positive sign, heart line making a triangle on the ring of Solomon. So this is all what I wanted to say on the ring of Solomon. I hope I made myself very clear in this video. For further more updates and notification on palmistry, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.